In this video, we're going to look at working with polylines. AutoCAD has three commands that uses the polyline as the base object. For example, the rectangle command and the polygon command are both they are both polylines. We also have a third command called donut that uses a polyline to create a donut shape. We're going to start off by looking at the rectangle command. A rectangle can have multiple properties. For example, you could have a wide polyline. You could draw a rectangle with a filleted corner, or a rectangle with a chamfered corner. You can also draw rectangles by specifying an exact length or width. And then you can also draw rectangles by giving it a preset area and drawing an object based on the length of one side. The basic way to draw a rectangle is to pick opposite corners. So if I start the rectangle command, pick one corner and then the other corner. So you can just pick corners to draw your rectangle. We can also specify a radius. So if you want a fillet, we can click on fillet, type in a radius 0.25. So now when we draw a rectangle, it has rounded corners. And you'll notice it doesn't round the corners until the sides are long enough to draw the rounded corners. Okay. A rectangle can also have chamfered corners. So we go to chamfer, and I'll use the same distance of 0.25. So now you've got a rectangle with chamfered corners. Now to turn off chamfer or fillet, you need to set the distance back to 0. So if I click on chamfer and type in a distance of 0 for both sides, then AutoCAD will draw square corners. Like I said, you can draw with a specified length or width. I typically do not use this because there's too many steps, but I'll show it to you anyway. We'll start the rectangle command, pick a point, then we have to go down and click on dimension, and we have to specify the length, which is horizontal, and then the width. Now I have a rectangle that's 2 inches by 1 inch. I find that it's easier to use relative coordinates. I could pick a point and then type in at 2, 1. It does the same thing with less steps. You can also draw a rectangle and with a preset area. So I'll start the rectangle command, click on a starting point, and then click on area. And I want the area of this rectangle to be 4 units, 4 square inches. I want to base this off of the length, and I want the length to be 3.5 inches long. And AutoCAD will draw the width to accommodate the area of 4. So if I click on the object, you'll notice that the area is 4 square inches, and then I can hover over the grip with dynamic input turned on, and it tells me that the length is 1.14. Okay. So that's the basic functions of a rectangle. It creates a polyline object in the shape of a rectangle. Let's take a look at the donut command. You can have donut shapes, or you could have solid filled donuts. The default radius of a donut is an interior diameter of 0.5 and an exterior diameter or an outer diameter of 1. So when we start the donut command, we give it an inside diameter, outside diameter, and then you can draw donuts. The end result is a polyline the shape of a donut. If you change the inside diameter to 0 and leave the outside diameter at 1, you'll get solid 1-inch circles. This is one of the easiest ways to create a solid filled circle on a drawing. The other command we're going to look at is the polygon command. There are several ways to draw a polygon. In this example, we're going to draw a polygon with a radius of 1.25. So I'll start the polygon command, and it asks me for the number of sides. You can have anywhere between 3 and 1024 sides. I'm going to specify 5 in this example. I'll specify the center of the circle, and then it prompts me for inscribed or circumscribed. In the example on the left, this circle is inscribed. It's inside the circle that I have shown. So I'll do inscribed, and then I'll type in a radius of 1.25. And you'll see that it's inside the circle. I'll repeat the command, and this time I'll select circumscribed using the same radius, and you'll notice that it appears on the outside. Because on a inscribed polygon, you're going from the center to the point. On a circumscribed, you're drawing from the center to the midpoint of one of the edges. And the third method of drawing a rectangle is the length of one edge. So I'll start Polygon, and I'll do the same example of 5 sides. This time I'm going to use edge mode, and it asks me for the start point of the edge. Let's say I wanted to use this line as an example. I'll pick this point as the start point of the edge, this point as the second point, and then now you have a polygon with 5 sides with the length of all edges the same as the example. This is nice as if you wanted to try to match an existing object. For example, I'm going to draw a polygon, 5 sides, using the edge mode, and I want to match the edge of this existing object. And you'll notice here that I can draw my 5-sided object and make the length of one edge the same as my octagon. So there are several different ways to use Polygon, but typically the inscribed or circumscribed will be the most common method.